Oh, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. A lot of folks taking a day off. I know this is 1100 WSG. I'm U-Turn LaVern. And yes, this is one street over, a chance to see what's going on one street over from where you live in. And I know I told you guys on Friday I was going to do something on Dr. Martin Luther King. And then I get a phone call from Kaleb, and he's like, hey, we on for Monday? And I'm like, I didn't think you'd come in. And then Jessica even, hey, are we on for tomorrow? And I'm like, okay. And it's so funny because I think we all forget you guys don't get the holiday. Even though it's a state holiday, I mean, you know, do you get any holidays?
No, so as game wardens, we don't actually get any holidays as far as taking off. It is a state holiday, so what we do is we don't get overtime either. So a lot of people think
really?
we get overtime. So we just get what's called comp time, compensatory time. So
okay.
So that allows us to have a pretty free schedule.
Yeah.
Most of the time, because we all have so much comp time, we can get up to 480 hours, and most of us all are stay pegged out at 480 hours of comp time. So
okay, so that means that if say, well, just like I know Jessica has Tommy, so once he gets to school age. You know, I'm sure that she's got all of her childcare stuff arranged, but you figure once he's in school and if he's out of school for Martin Luther King Jr. Day and she doesn't have somebody to take care of him, well, now she may have to take a day off, but she would have to, that's the thing. And that's different. I'll have to ask her that. But I think we need to really take a note of the fact that a lot of us have the day off today, but you guys don't unless you take your holiday, or unless you take your PTO is what
right.
we call
we would have to actually request off. And honestly, with us, it's just, like I said, it's different. So with our job, I mean, we can't really do our job. We got to do our job when the people are out.
Yeah.
The hunters and fishermen are out. And so today, like today, they're going to be out. They're going to be out trout fishing and fishing. It's cold, but it's a great day to fish. And so that's when people are going to be out doing stuff because they're off work, so they're able to get out and enjoy it. And we just want to make sure that they're doing it legally and safely. So so that's us, and that's every day. We all try to take Christmas Day off.
Try to get right up on that mic better.
We all try to take Christmas Day off, but other than Christmas Day, I mean we work every holiday, rain, sleet, snow, shine, whatever. We're out.
Bless y'all. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did today because I think we forget that. And we need to really honor that because that's when people, they're like, oh, you get this, you have this great job, Kaleb, but you're on call all the time.
All the time, yep.
And
the phone rings you're just laid down in bed, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and that happened the other night. I had to jump up and throw the uniform on and get out and go chase somebody down. But
oh my goodness. It happens.
Fun. Now, and like I said, you can ask Jessica this, but I know like the sheriff's office, and even with us though, our administrative personnel, like, we have the same Jessica and Sheriff. We have that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now, they get the holidays. Those office people, they get to take the day off.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, we'll ask her about that then. But she's coming in today.
She's probably off today. I don't know. She may just be coming in on her day off.
Okay. I can't imagine. I was going to say, are you sure you want to come in? It's a holiday. But yeah, she's coming in. So maybe she, is taking the comp time and, going to do something later. But I do, before we get too much into everything, and he came in all suited up, man. He's ready to go. You said you've got a destination today, so we'll get you out of here on time. But I do want to remind you, please, when we get these holidays that are commemorative, talk to your kids and think about why we're off. And I hope you'll reflect on the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I went in and got to looking at some things, and I was looking at the news accounts of the day of his assassination, and there were some details that I don't think I always had in my mind that he was making a speech when he was shot. He was not. He was just on his balcony. Yeah, he was getting ready to go to dinner and just walked down on his balcony when they shot him. And, a lot of the things too, at the time he was not crazy popular with a lot of people, but, in the African-American community he was, but it's just reflect on, he was not perfect, I guess is my point. And very few people that we look up to and that made a difference in our lives were not perfect. One of my plans when I didn't know y'all were coming in, actually, I have a nephew who was born in 1979. He's half black and he's half white. And in that time period, his my sister and her husband got together, 1977. Somewhere in there, it was really tough. It was a really tough, terse racial time, and so that's something I've carried with me for my entire life ever since I was a teenager. And I said, like, Josh, why don't you come on and let's talk about what it's like living on both sides and what it's been like, because now it's not that big of a deal. And if it is still a big deal for you, shame on you. Shame on you. get over yourself. And I mean, I don't understand racial inequality. I really don't. I don't know how people can even begin to justify that, especially if you call yourself a Christian. But anyway, so I kind of wanted Josh to come on and talk about it. He's like, doesn't want to be defined by that. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. And then I got to thinking about, what would have been like without Dr. Martin Luther King's influence. And I just want you to really reflect on that. People they'll start talking about him and then they'll bring up negative things and different things. It's like, just stop it. He made an enormous difference and gave his life for it. And that's the reason you have the day off today. And I hope you'll reflect on his sacrifice and just absolutely, not forget why we're taking a day off. And Lee Marie's reminded me that many places like the library are closed today. All the, other than y'all's offices and things, but she's like, they're going to be at Well in the Square, so come on down.
Like I said, our office is closed. Yeah. We're just not.
Yeah, there you go. And let's see, and Crossroads is open. So there's a lot of places that are open. Just please remember, for those of us who do have a day off, why you have the day off and honor the man. I've got the news piece where Walter Cronkite's doing the news story on YouTube. I'm going to play for my kiddos tomorrow. So I just hope you remember that and reflect on that. And Kaleb Stratton's here, and he is our regional sergeant.
District.
Right? Districts. Oh, I knew it was either district or region. Yeah. So he's our district sergeant for the Tennessee Wildlife Resources, and he's all suited up, ready to go. And, talking about Memphis, where Dr. King was, you've been in Memphis and done some work down there with what was it exactly you were doing? Y'all were delivering warrants, right?
Yes, mainly.
Because some things were not getting done in Memphis, and it was getting pretty lawless.
It's still going on. I mean, there's still people down there.
Yeah.
You're not seeing it on the news, but it's still going on. We don't know if we have to go back yet or not. It's still up in the air.
Well, and Memphis I have a friend whose child was killed in Memphis. He was just walking down the side of the street. Somebody ran over him and just kept going. And so it's been a rough area. And so God bless you. It worried me when y'all were down there. I was praying over you, buddy.
It was in a weird way, it was fun for us. It's just something different
to do. And
believe it or not, we didn't have much. Knock on wood, we didn't have much issue at all.
Good.
The rest of a lot of people.
Okay.
Our agency did in general.
Care of. Good.
Got some business done. So.
Well, what are you up to today? You got a lot of numbers there. It's like deer hunt numbers.
Yeah, so everybody always asks about the deer. Every day, not a day has gone by since the end of deer season that somebody's been like, what's the numbers? And I'm like, I don't know. So I looked them up the other day. But statewide, we were down as far as the total number of harvests. Statewide, we were down 15,000 deer. So 15,000 less deer were killed.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I think Robertson County is a pretty good average. We were down quite a bit as well, but so like in the last deer season in Robertson County, we killed 2,490 deer. We killed 2,305 this year, so that was 185 deer difference.
Okay. Nobody harvested any at my place, unless my neighbor did. They seem to be pretty big hunters, and so there's some stuff going on. I think they. I don't know if they did or not, but they seem to be out there hunting. I don't know.
But that's that 185 for Robertson County. That's about right. So when you think of the counties we have in Tennessee, with 15,000, that's around 150 deer so per county that was down. So. That's about right. The numbers we'd like to see a little bit different, though, are the bucks, the antler deer versus the antlerless deer, the does. So, normally you want to see a lot more doe than bucks killed, but unfortunately we don't ever see that. So, like this past year, total in the state, we had 82,500 bucks killed, but only 63,500 does. So, that's a...
Going to be having
almost
more?
20,000. Yeah, a lot more babies.
Yeah.
So we're not doing a great job, as a state of controlling that population.
That means more deer running out in front of your car.
Yeah. Now these are just these numbers are just what was harvested that hunters checked in. So that's not to say that we have a lot of people that don't check their deer in, which hurts our numbers. This isn't including the amount of deer that were killed on depredation permits that farmers get every year for their crops. That doesn't include that. That doesn't include cars, hit by cars. So as far as the amount of deer killed, there was a lot more than what these numbers reflect. This is just what the hunters actually harvested in Tennessee. So
I saw your youth hunt. How did that look like a great success?
So yeah,
you have that on your list to talk about?
Yeah. So we actually did 2 events. So in our agency, we have what's called the R3, and that's our R3 stuff is like our information education stuff. It's recruitment, retention, and reactivation. So recruiting new hunters in, retaining what we got, and then also reactivating old hunters that used to hunt when they were kids, or even teenagers that used to hunt when they were kids and they didn't. So reactivating more people back into the wild as far as the wild side. So Jason started last year doing a hunt. It's his second annual hunt. We've done hunts in Robertson County for many years. Mike Murdoch and a lot of the other officers that were here before us, they did hunts for many years and did a great job. I can't thank the birds enough out there, bird processing. They're the ones that really spearhead this and give a place for us to hang out and do all that stuff. So that hunt is more for the retention, and so retaining the hunters we have, but it's also for recruiting new hunters. That hunt is mainly for kids who have never killed a deer before, who want to kill a deer, and then they put them with somebody that'll take them hunting, show them what to do, and help them with the deer and field dress. Just get them introduced to hunting. And so a lot of kids kill their first deer on that hunt. It's really cool.
I think that's great. Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff is donated. A lot of people, obviously, everybody donates their time, their land, and that's more than anybody could ask for. It's a great event. And then also something I started a couple years ago is when I was growing up in Robertson County, and this was all across the state, when you were to harvest a deer, you would show it all. I mean, everybody loved it. You drive through town and go to 49 Market, or at the time at the fairgrounds where the fairgrounds where the fair building is, the old fire department. Yeah. That was a check-in station. So you'd go there, you check your deer in. People would come by, they'd stop at the gas station, grab a drink, and come over there and talk and hang out. And you would just talk about it. And in today's society with technology, we harvest a deer, we take a picture of it, we check it in on our phone, we put it on Facebook, we go home. You don't talk about it. You don't go off and show your friends. It's really a lost thing. And
I agree. Yeah.
People wanted that back. So what I started doing is this is part of the reactivation. So we're reactivating new people, or reactivating the hunters that used to do this stuff. So for these youth hunts, we've been hanging out up here in Adams at where they do the Bell Witch play. They let us rent that out for free. But they let us use that, and really it's a gathering. So the kids will harvest their deer, turkey, whatever, and they come up there, and we've got food and snacks and giveaways. We gave away a gun, gave away just a bunch of door prizes. Like I said, we have donuts and biscuits and coffee and whatever you want. It's just a place to come and hang out, and the kids are up there and get to playing. For the turkey season one last year, we had over 100 people show up. I didn't get a good count this year, but we had over 28 kids come by. So anyway, just a good.
Looked like a great bunch. I saw your social media post on
both.
It. I thought, man, that looked like a good time.
It was, and the kids love it. The community loves it. Robertson County is a great place to be, as you know, just for everything, and we're trying to make it just a little bit better.
I love it.
That was the youth deer hunts, and I've also got wrote down. So the turkey juvenile hunt will be April 4th.
Okay.
April 4th, and which I'll be in before that. But April 4th is turkey hunt, and then opening day is April 11th for turkey. So.
Man, it goes fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe deer season's over already.
Don't say that. Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. Well, but my family's like, we're going to come out there and harvest deer, Mom. They did not. I would really like to see my family transition to where that's what we consume.
Yeah. People.
But it's healthier. It's healthier.
Funny you say.
A lot of meat though, so.
It is good. I mean, especially we get a lot of burger and put it just in everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny you say that. With people always like, man, I can't believe deer season's already over. I'm like, what do you mean already? It started in August, and
that's true.
We have a deer season in August, and then it really kicks in full time in September. So you got September, October, November, December, part of January. I mean, you got nearly 5 months of deer hunting, almost half the year in Tennessee. So
yeah, that's true. Time just goes so fast, especially when you hit my age. Like,
when it comes to opportunity, people complain about our license prices, and there's a couple of issues, but the opportunity you don't have this opportunity in any other state that I know of, to kill this many deer, to have this much opportunity to hunt, this much land to hunt on. So it's really good. So
when we were up in Michigan, it's so much more strict up there, And we were up there over between Christmas and New Year, and we actually stayed at the deer camp. And, so there was a lot of deer talk. And I was like, it's so much more restrictive up there versus here,
Right.
And so, I mean, it's
a lot of those northern states, they have a lot of, I don't want to go up there and hunt because I'm scared.
I wonder if my husband, because the deer camp is on family land, I wonder if he can hunt there. I wonder if there's any kind of, I don't know. I mean,
I think most states have like what we have, but a lot of times if you're not, let's say you own land or you fall under the landowner exemption here in Tennessee, but you own land in Kentucky, or I'm sorry, if you live in Kentucky but own land in Tennessee, you still got to have a license here. You got to be able. You have to reside here.
Since that's not his residence.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Like I said, every state's a little bit different. But
and now his brother owns the property, so it wouldn't be like his parents owning it. His dad did own it.
If that was here, then no, he would have to.
Yeah, he would have to have it. But
if it was in Tennessee,
if it was his father that still, of course, his father has passed, so his brother has ownership of it. And so that's interesting. I don't know they talked a lot about it. I wasn't really paying attention. I was watching the snow because it was super deep. But that's one thing too. Trying to figure out what those animals eat when there's ice everywhere.
Hey, they're
it's
tough.
It's just a different place. But so now what about the trout? The putting in, have y'all done all of the?
No, we've just done one actually. So
really?
They're doing another one next week.
Okay.
So January 28th, we'll have a load brought in, and then the last one will be February 26th.
Okay.
So January 28th, that's next Wednesday.
Why don't y'all do it on President's Day or Martin Luther King Jr. Day so I can take my grandson?
Because those fisheries guys are probably off on those holidays.
Oh, okay. Of course. Okay. Yeah, because that would be fun, if we, because I want to take my grandson. I think it'd be fun.
Honestly, you'll get a few caught the day that they put them in, but most time they do not bite.
Oh, really? Because
it takes them normally a day or two to get back going again.
So where's the best place to do trout fishing, do you think?
Just here?
Yeah.
Oh, just right where we put them in at. I mean,
just right there by the fairgrounds.
At the bridge. Yep, at both bridges.
Okay.
So there's a bridge right there at the fairgrounds, the Greenway Bridge, and then if you walk towards Travis Price, that other bridge down there.
Yep.
That's between there. It's not that far of a walk, but those two bridges are where we put them in at.
You see a lot of people fishing up in there after the trout? Okay. Yeah.
And a lot of people think, man, they're going to fish them all out, and they don't. I'm telling you, it's.
How big are they? Mark says they're not that big.
They're not. They're very small.
Okay.
Yeah, they put a few in there that are a few pounds, but most of them are very small. They're 7-8 inches long, just small trout.
Okay.
But you'll see some in there that'll honestly survive from last year.
Do people harvest them and then eat them, or do they put them back?
I've never seen anybody put any of them back.
Okay, because trout's good.
Yeah, that's very good. So people love them.
Very good. Okay, because I mean, I don't eat a lot of meat, but I really like fish. But it's so damn blame expensive, and so I'd love to get to where I could catch fish. I mean, I've got to get better at this. I've just got to get better at this. Yeah. And
you got everything you need to survive at your place.
I know, but I am just not a good fisherman.
Me neither.
Really? Because I've got a friend of mine that I used to work with at the church that's excellent. And he gave me some instruction on fishing the creek, and we fished it one time, and my grandson got a really nice bass out of the creek. And we've had people that come down and fish off us, and they're like, "You can't believe I got," we had some kids that we were getting worried about them. They were just, they disappeared. We were like, it was getting dark, and we saw one of the trucks down there, and we're like, we're going to have to go check on those kids. There was a pile of them come. They'd been down there fishing all day, had tons of fish.
Fish everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's some that are just really good at it. And of course, patience is a virtue, and I don't have great patience. I get bored very easily.
Yeah. You don't catch one, and you're like, all right,
I'm like, done. Oh, I'm done. I'm just like, I'm reeling it in and all that. But so what else have you got going on that we need to cover?
That's mostly it. We've, right now duck season's still going on. It goes on through January 31st. So most of your deer hunters, once deer season ends, I mean, they duck hunt anyway, but once deer season ends, they're full blown duck hunting. So we got a lot of duck hunters going right now till the end of the month.
Do you duck hunt?
I have duck hunted. Yes, I'm not a duck hunter. I'd say it's
okay. You're a deer. You hunt deer
mainly. So duck hunting around here is it doesn't happen. I mean, we have some ducks around Cheatham and Old Hickory, but nothing. If you want to go on good duck hunting, you got to travel a good ways. Most people here go to Arkansas, to duck hunt, and I just can't. I can't afford it, and I can't take that much time off to get over there.
Well, the Duck Hunter show, whatever, they were down in Duck Dynasty. They are down like in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess that's where you go duck hunting, I guess.
You can, yeah. There's ducks down there. So
okay. But and I know that okay, so what will be the next? So we've got turkey season coming up.
So yeah, duck season's right now, and then also all the small games, so rabbit, squirrel, and stuff like that. It goes through February 28th.
Okay.
And then from March 1st until April 11th, opening day of turkey season, there's not much going on. Mainly a lot of fishing, a lot of stripe fishing, a lot of crappie. People will really start fishing hard.
Okay, so when it comes to small game, do they have to check those in?
No, only big game. So here would just be deer and turkey.
Okay, that's it. Those are the only ones you have to check. And
here,
so turkey's considered big game.
But in East Tennessee, bear, elk, and stuff like that, you'd also have to check in.
Okay, bear and elk. I can't even imagine.
So yeah, in Tennessee, are 4 big game are deer, turkey, bear, elk. So.
Have you ever shot any bear?
No, I still want to, yeah. They invite me over all the time to East Tennessee. Again, I just got to find time to do it.
Yeah. So would you consume that?
Yeah.
Bear?
Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean, some people hate it, but a lot of people like it.
I've heard adverse things about it being like, because there's kind of scavengers in a way, and I don't know. But so I've heard mixed reviews on that. But I know one time we were in Maine, and this is like when I was in college. And we had some kind of game stew that had like 5 different kinds of, I don't even know what all was in it. But it was really good. It was so different.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
we're used to
really
eating
different.
We're used to eating just a certain type of meat. So when we do eat deer for the first time or elk, it's like, oh, that doesn't taste right.
Right.
It does taste right. It just doesn't taste right to us because we're not used to it. So
it's so funny. Lee Marie just put up at Cedar Hill Baptist Church. They're having a wild game dinner.
Oh, I'm glad you said
January 30th. Thank you, Lee Marie.
I'll be there.
So there you go.
I didn't write that down, but I've got it on my calendar. I'll be there that night.
The wild game dinner. It's at Cedar Hill Baptist Church at 112 South Main Street, and again, that's on January 20th at 6:30 p.m. So each person attending should bring their favorite wild game dish or other meat dish, and Cedar Hill will provide the dessert. So if you don't have wild game, you can just bring,
There's a lot of people that bring a bucket of KFC chicken.
Yeah,
and I like that too. So.
There you go. There you go.
No, that's a great night. I go there every time they have it. They let me set up a little booth there and just just there to answer questions, talk to people. It's a very great event. There's a ton of people there every year. It's
have
really
you ever
great.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Have you ever been to any events with Jimmy Sites?
Yeah,
he's a good friend.
Yeah,
of mine.
years. Yeah, we've talked. So
we're big buds.
He spoke at one of our wild game dinners that my uncle put on at Springfield Baptist years ago. He was one of our first people that ever spoke at that one. Yeah.
Okay, because he does a spiritual show. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I haven't. I can't remember the name of it. Oh my gosh! But it's a spiritual outdoor show. I'll pull it up here real quick. He's going to wring my neck. But he does that, and I mean he's made a living at it, and he travels.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
he travels everywhere.
The world.
Didn't he break his leg or his foot or something
recently?
A while back or something.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go.
Maybe another outdoor person. I don't know.
Spiritual Outdoor Adventures.
Spiritual Outdoor, yeah.
Spiritual Outdoor Adventures is the name of his program, and they have had some adventures too, man. I mean, they've been all over. They're an interesting group, but he's a lot of fun. But yeah, I was just wondering if you've done any of the wild game dinners. He does a lot of those.
He does.
But
like you said, that's what he does for a living. So
yeah, that's what he does. So anything else that we're missing here, my friend?
Just so this isn't necessarily here, but just one county over, NWTF, so the National Wild Turkey Federation, their annual big conferences in town at Opryland. Again, we go there every year. We have a big booth set up, and we work the event for security for them. But there's hundreds of thousands of people that come from all over the country, all over the world to this event. I think every sportsman in Robertson County will be there. So, again, that's February 11th through the 15th.
Well, it's something to do during the kind of downtime, really.
Well, and that's, everybody asks, well, it's kind of a downtime for y'all, isn't it? And I'm like, nope. This month I'm out of town every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm at in-service every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Like I said, so that's where I'm going right after this, back to in-service at Fall Creek Falls. But now, Tennessee is hosting a lot of major conferences as far as outdoor stuff. So we're hosting the National NASBLA conference, which is boating. So you know how it's called NHTSA, National Highway Safety Transportation, whatever. Right. So the boat equivalent to NHTSA is called NASBLA. So they're hosting. We're hosting that this year. Tennessee is. So we'll be busy with that coming up actually in February, and then this fall we're hosting SEFWA. which is the Southeastern Association of Fish and Wildlife Agencies. So that's a national conference that TWRA is hosting this year as well. So it's going to be a busy year for us as far as just conferences and meetings and national stuff. It's all hitting us all at once, it seems like. So
well, and
we stay busy.
Well, at the boat show and all that. We used to do a big boat show up in Nashville. I don't know.
They hadn't done it in a couple of years.
I know.
We used to have to go to that too.
Because my husband and I were dating and getting ready to go to the boat show when he asked me to marry him. I'm not kidding. It was real formal. It was like, hey, you want to get married? Sure.
Let's go to the boat show.
It was about like that too. It was about like that. So Kaleb Stratton, our district sergeant, and we appreciate you. You stay safe out there. And we appreciate you working on a day off when the rest of us are taking it chill. So, but anyway, so
we'll have to find out if they're working today. I guarantee you
she looked like she's all suited up to work. So I'll tell you, when y'all both came walking in here looking awful formal, I was thinking y'all be all chill, and I was just impressed that y'all came in today. Anyway,
that's all good. Anytime we can help.
One note too: the county commissioner meeting is not tonight. It will be next Monday night because they are taking the day off. So we'll have Mayor Vogel in next week. So we'll have that is a little different. So there you go. Yep. Be safe out there.
See y'all. Thank you.
Appreciate you, brother. As Kaleb's making his way out and Jessica's making her way in, this is a law enforcement day. And yes, too, the schools are looking forward to seeing you too, Kaleb. GHS is wanting you in there too.
Yeah, I got to talk.
You got to talk to Mr. Miller. So, but he's coming in the schools and talking to the kiddos, and that's really great because it's something that's really needed. So they're trying to get him into GHS as well. He's been over at Springfield with my hubby for a while, but we have a criminal justice teacher now at Greenbrier, and so they're wanting to bring the same thing in. As Jess is making her way in, I always like to pull up Barry and Rebecca's pages just to kind of see what's going on. And Rebecca, right on the top of her social media page, it's hysterical. She says, the one thing I totally underestimated when becoming an agent, a real estate agent, is the amount of the times that I will say, we have to make sure that cat doesn't get out. Have you seen the cat? And did the cat get out when we came in the house? It's hysterical. That is so funny. But the world of real estate, if you want to be a realtor, talk to Barry and Rebecca. They're both of them came out of, come on in, sis. Both of them came out of careers that were different than real estate. He was media marketing vice president for 17 years up in Nashville. She was in radiology before her kids. She took care of her kids. And then when they went back to school, she's like, what do I really want to do? And it was real estate. So she dug in to see exactly which company would be best suited for her, and it was Exit, and they've been with Exit ever since. They started a new branch in the tree a few years ago. They are Exit, coming up on the third year, I think, of their anniversary, is Exit Prime Realty. Still the same great team, and if you want to be a realtor, she's going to talk to you about the things like, make sure the cat doesn't get out of the house when you're showing a house, things like that, the silly things. But Barry's also said it's not for everybody. He's going to really talk to you about the very specifics of it to make sure it's a good fit for you. Whether you want to be a realtor, whether or not you have property to sell, property to buy, they're your team. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. They will work as a team, but they do work in competition with each other. She has an agency office up in White House, so she deals with a different broker than Barry. He's the broker right here in Springfield, but they're here to help you no matter what it is you're looking for. If you're trying to package property that people just don't seem to be seeing, you might need somebody like Barry that's, understands media and marketing and videography and photography and drone footage and walkthrough tours, all the things, and they can help you out. You can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or by BUY, robertsoncounty.com. Or you can give Rebecca a call, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, or Barry's number is 7424. And when you do, please let them know U-Turn sent you. Jessica, I'm so impressed with you guys coming in on, I don't know, I just had in my head that neither one of y'all would be available. And then I heard from both of you, hey, we still doing this? And I'm like, well, sure, come on in.
Yeah.
So y'all are working. I mean, you both came in here. You're going to work.
For this, and then I'm going home.
Oh, you are?
I'm
bless
off
your heart.
today.
You're off today. Well, bless your heart.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in
No
on
problem.
your day off.
Mm-hmm.
So you could have taken the day off if you don't want it and done it next week. But, well, what's going, because that's one thing we were talking about. People forget that law enforcement doesn't get a day off. Fire doesn't get a day off. Game wardens don't get a day off.
Mm-hmm.
And now in an admin side, y'all do have the offices are closed.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So y'all do get that break.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, it's different. And, but it's just like with schools, we're off, teachers are off in the summer, but our admin offices are open.
Yeah.
So it's like you just have to kind of learn the nuances of the different things. But, well, I'm glad you're getting a day off to hang with Tommy and all that. So anyway, but I appreciate you coming in. That's dedication, chick.
Absolutely.
That's dedication. Now I'm impressed. So what's going on?
As you can tell, I don't have the makeup or did the hair or anything like that.
So I should have said, hey, let's just wear hats and no makeup.
I just threw a hat on.
Yeah, because I've got some shopping. We're still redoing our house and stuff, and I've got to run by Lowe's and a couple of things like that because we're trying to get some things done. So I'm like, well, if I got to go to the store, I better, look presentable. Oh, because inevitably I'll run into my kids.
Yeah.
I will run into students. If I go out looking really disheveled, I'll be like, hey, Miss Vivio, is that you? That kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'll put it together.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, what's going on in your world right now?
Just getting ready for, the new year, getting all that ready. We had a very, very busy end of the year as usual, just tons of events going on in the county, worked all those. We had our our annual award ceremony for our employees. We hold that every December, and that's just the award ceremony is a recognition to all of our employees for years of service, promotions throughout the year, accommodations, anything like that. And I believe we had a little over 80 people who got awards this year, which is fantastic. I think we ended up having about 130 people showing up. It's for employees and families. So it's always a nice little event to, recognize everyone's hard work and dedication.
So is it kind of a Christmas party kind of thing?
Kind of. It's Christmas vibe. You know.
And that's where you do your recognitions and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know y'all did that. That's awesome. Because I kind of felt like that was kind of an ongoing thing throughout the year. But it's like you come together at the end of the year. So
yeah. So they'll have their official promotion with the sheriff.
Right.
And then at the end of the year we do like a big celebration where, family and friends can come and you get recognized by in front of the whole sheriff's office type thing.
Okay.
So you just 80's a lot. So
yeah, it is. I imagine we're in the world.
You got to do
at the center. Or?
We did Springfield Baptist Church.
Okay.
They have an amazing facility there to use, and we've worked with them on all sorts of different things as far as using their facilities, and they have a fantastic, I believe it's the fellowship hall that we use. They have a fantastic area for that. It was perfect.
Well, good, because that's a lot of people. When you start bringing their people with them.
Yeah, they have a great facility for that.
Well, very good. I didn't know they had anything that large. Okay.
It is. It's very nice.
Okay.
And they have a great kitchen that you can use, and yeah.
Well, that's cool. And, it's so funny because I don't know. I just didn't really think about y'all doing a year-end thing. I just thought it was kind of an ongoing thing, but I'm glad y'all do that. Mm-hmm. You need to love on your employees. That's something my husband and I talk a lot about keeping your people. Mm-hmm. And you got to let them know you appreciate them. There's so much to that. You gotta love on them and honor them and let them know that their work matters.
Well, employees are the ones who keep everything running.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who dedicate their lives to ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Mm-hmm. And what they have at the sheriff's office is a very important job. And you have individuals who are deputies who are, we're 24/7.
Yeah.
On both, corrections and patrol. Yeah. So they are taking their time away from their families and their loved ones on holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, bad weather, critical incidences, things like that, where they would be home with their families. They're out in the community taking care of the community. So when we can, we're absolutely going to recognize those employees because they absolutely deserve it. You can't do it enough. Yeah. You can't recognize them enough for what they do. But we definitely do what we can.
Well, and that's what, Kaleb and I were talking about. I was just so surprised that both of y'all were coming in today. And, we said that I think we forget that y'all don't have those days off. And, from if say you were still on patrol or doing something like that, if you wanted to take the day off once Tommy gets in school, you'd have to take a day off to do that. It would have to be part of your PTO or whatever like that.
Yeah.
You have to schedule that. Just the Christmas and all of those things are so difficult when you're in law enforcement. And I just think we really forget that sometimes. And I completely did. I just wasn't expecting you guys to be in here. But, and you were talking about being with your families. Think about this when something like we've had some bad weather threats, and those kind of tornadoes and icy conditions. You would want to be home with your family, making sure your family's okay, and you got to be out.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah. And even the ones, in those types of incidences, even the ones that are off, depending on the severity of the, how it's looking, they could technically say, hey, be prepared. You may have to come out.
Yeah.
For those types of things.
Yeah. Because if you think about when the tornado came through a few years ago or a couple of years ago, I mean, everybody got called back up. I know some of my students were talking about their parents that were, part of either law enforcement or think about the people doing there was one of my students our dad was a lineman.
Yep.
And he had been off. It was his vacation week, and they pulled him back in just immediately because he was here. He hadn't left.
Yeah.
And so they called him back in and different things like that. But I just think the fact that both of y'all came in on a holiday is just a reminder that our law enforcement, they don't get a holiday. So appreciate them and honor them. Pray for them. They got a very tough job out there, and we appreciate y'all very much.
We appreciate it
very much. I'm glad y'all had that chance to honor everybody. Now, is this that dinner? Is that a time when you find out about retirements that you have coming up? You've got people. When do they announce retirements and those kinds of things? Because
it just whenever
sporadically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll always, if someone's retiring, we throw them an individual retirement party.
Right.
That's just for them. But I mean, that's just throughout the year.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll submit their official retirement letter, and then we'll work with them on when they want to do their party. And so that's throughout the year.
How are y'all doing staff-wise? Do you have some retire? I mean, are y'all looking and thinking, we're going to have like 2 or 3 is going to be retiring this year? How are y'all looking as far as staffing?
We currently we have 14 openings, and it's mainly in corrections. And then I know we have one that has officially put in their retirement for later this year. I mean, we do have some that are pretty close within the next couple years to where they'll have their 30 years. And so it's just, there's no telling if they're going to leave at the 30 years or want to stay. I mean, and rightfully so, they've hit their 30 years. They have earned it.
30 years in law enforcement?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That is a lot. I've got to ask you, whenever we're not on mic, I've got one of my students that came to work in corrections, and I'm just wondering how they're doing.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say their name on the radio, but I'm hoping they're doing okay. But anyway, I just every time you mention that you have it in corrections, I'm wondering, I wonder what's going on there. But so you have, when you talk about corrections, you're talking about officer positions to come in and
corrections officers. Yeah. So those are the corrections officers where you can get hired out straight out of high school. And you don't have to be post certified or anything like that. We actually, our corrections staff and a couple of our SROs went to Greenbrier High School last week and spoke with the criminal justice students about just corrections employment. And it was really good. And they were able to just kind of, because I guess a lot of people think that they have to be 21 or something like that. No, it's 18 years old, high school diploma. And we train you. We have our own training program that they go through. And so they spent the day just speaking to all the different classes about that.
Well, and that's something that my husband has said he wanted to get y'all in Springfield to do the same thing. because he handles the criminal justice class at Springfield.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'd love to get you guys out there for that, because this student that I'm talking about, that's the situation,
Mm-hmm.
is they were able to come right out of high school
Mm-hmm.
and go into working at and I mean, they were working somewhere else for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I saw them and I said, "Hey, is it going? I'm going to start in. I'm going to be working out at the jail, starting so and so and so." I'm like, "That's awesome!" So it was a great opportunity for them, because it's really. Do you want to talk about the pay and things like that for kids? Because I mean,
Yeah.
How-
So
what
right.
entry level pay do we?
Yeah,
have
so
on
right
that?
now the pay starting just for corrections officers is $25.38. So $25.38 an
Yeah.
hour. And of course we usually have a step plan, which is 3.5%, that goes before county commission every year. And so you're looking at pretty good pay starting out as just straight out of high school. High school diploma, you need a driver's license, a valid driver's license, and
Put that in there.
yeah, of course, pass a background check. We do a very good thorough background check, and then you have your polygraph, your psychological. You have to do your drug test, a medical examination, and from there, if you get hired on, you'll go straight into training with our corrections training program, and you do a lot. I say the first week is the most boring week, but it's also the most important week
Gotta
of
pay
the entire
attention.
training,
Right.
because it's all of the rules, it's all of the policies, it's all of your general orders, which is policy and procedures, laws, things like that. So it's a lot of book work and it's a lot of reading, but it's also the most important aspect of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, you do the math on that. That's, $52,000 a year right out of high school. And I'm assuming they can make overtime and things like that, and that's because they're going to work a 40-hour week, right?
Yeah, so the minimum's 40-hour week, and if we need overtime, you are eligible for overtime that you can do, which of course is time and a half.
Yeah.
So
That's not bad coming right out of high school. Benefits, all the things.
Yep. So you get full benefits. You can get your you have the option to do medical, dental, and vision. We have different types of medical options you can take. We have vacation, sick, and comp. You start out with 8 hours of vacation and sick a month, and as your years of service progress, your vacation can go all the way up to 14 hours a month that you can accrue. And then we also have comp time, which is really good for new employees to where, they don't have any vacation or sick built up.
Yeah.
So in lieu of taking overtime pay when they work overtime, they can take it as time off. So they can actually accrue time off.
So instead of getting
And
time
bank
and a
it.
half for an extra 8 hours, you would get an extra 8 hours of.
So you would get time and a half of time off. So like how you would get paid.
Yeah.
So say I worked 4 hours. I would get 6 hours of time off.
Oh wow. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So of overtime.
Oh, that's cool.
So instead of getting paid that, you get that in the amount of time.
That's really cool. And you have a bunch of openings in that regard right now.
Yeah, right now we do have 14 openings. And so you can just go online and apply right at the Roberts County Sheriff's Office website.
Yeah.
And
Pretty amazing opportunity for somebody coming around out of school that's looking for something to do. What we talked to, that's one thing, being in high school, talking to these kiddos. Because I'm a career and technical education teacher, I'm constantly asking them, what are you going to do the minute school ends? What you playing? Because that's our job. I can talk to them. I do audio, video, and I do all the fun stuff. But the reality of it is, any of our career and technical education teachers needs to be having those conversations about: are you employable? Are you ready to go to work? Are you ready to be an adult? Are you ready for the adult world? And for somebody that has any interest at all in law enforcement, this is a really good way to get your feet wet and make some income and to look into the other opportunities. It's just like when you talk about law enforcement, a lot of kids, I want to do this, the forensics stuff. Do y'all have opportunities in that open up in the sheriff's office?
We don't really have forensics at the sheriff's office. Yeah.
So that's something that comes into an investigative to get into that. So
yeah.
So what got you in law enforcement? What made you want to go into that? Has that just always been your interest? Because I know you started in corrections.
Yeah. I mean, it had always been my interest. And I had always liked it, but it was never something that I had actually planned on doing.
Okay.
Because it's not in my degree that
I got you.
that I got. And I had graduated college and I was working on my master's, and came out here because my aunt lived out here. I'm originally from California.
Right.
And so I moved out here with her because I didn't want to go back home
I got
when
you.
I graduated. And
Tennessee's better in California.
yeah.
Let's just
Yes.
be real. Let's just be real.
Yes. And that was 2013. So I don't consider I'm here. I'm a Tennessean.
You're a Tennessean. That's like me. I've been in Tennessee since I came to Tennessee at the age of 17, and I'm 62.
Yeah, I don't consider
63.
myself a California
you're
person
a Tennessee
anymore.
now. And you've birthed a child here, so that's like there you go.
So I moved here with her while I was getting my master's, and honestly, Robertson County Sheriff's Office was the first place that I applied for. And so I was like, well, I could work there till, I finish my master's degree and,
good steady job
and all that kind of stuff. And then I got hired and I fell in love with the sheriff's office.
That's really cool.
And the people there, and it was just, it was so nice because I was like, I have never worked at a place like this before where it actually you enjoyed.
Yeah. Felt like family.
Yeah, you enjoyed being
family.
there.
Right.
And once I graduated, I was like, I don't want to leave. So, and now I'm at where I'm at with my position, and it was definitely the best decision because I wouldn't be where I'm at, and I
love that.
I love it.
See, that's what I tell kids all the time. It's like, because they're like, I want to do this. It's like, that's great. Dream, have your plans, but no, you've got to make a living.
Yeah.
And look at the opportunities that are out there to make a living, and they may open doors to things you never even considered.
It did. And, I'm not in what I had, my plan did not go in the direction I thought it did. It was going to, and I had a very steadfast plan of what I wanted. But I'm very grateful for the opportunities I had at the sheriff's office, and I'm very happy with it, and I don't regret it at all. And here I am, 13 years later. I had only planned on being there for maybe a year, couple years tops.
That's really cool. I'm so glad to know that because my career path has been that way big time, and I can share that. But and I won't tell them who you are. But I'll be like, this is this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
You can tell them who I am.
But I think that's a really interesting thing because I tell them all the time, you've got to figure out how you're going to pay the bills, how you're going to make a living while you do that. I had a student in last week who's working at. His grandfather owns the cricket store. So he's working there and actually enjoying it. And now he's picking back up the things he wants to do in film and he's wanting to do, because you've got an income now, you can do the things that you have a desire to do. And you may find out the things that you're doing to make a living you really love. It's just, it's really amazing if you'll just open your mind to that. I think that's great.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
It helped because, I've always had an interest in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure,
so, that's kind of why I was like, hey, I'll go do that. It seems cool.
I love that. I love that story, though.
But it wasn't anything that I had planned on doing.
Okay. Well, see, I never realized that about you, and because I didn't know you had a degree. What is your degree in?
I have a master's in geospatial intelligence.
What? What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's why I love sitting and talking to people for more than just a minute. You have a master's in what again?
geospatial intelligence.
What does that even mean?
So it's satellites mapping.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Do you get to use that skill in the capacity that you're working now?
No.
Is there any potential for that?
No.
Interesting.
No.
That's
It's been so long, I probably wouldn't
That is fascinating.
remember how to do it.
That is so fascinating. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just learning all kinds of things about you tonight, Jess. So you've got a list there. Is there anything? Well, this is the election year for sheriff?
It
right?
is.
Does he have any opposition?
So far,
I don't
no.
think so. I haven't
fingers
heard
crossed.
it. So, yeah,
Fingers
exactly.
crossed.
Okay. So I had to ask
Hopefully
that
not.
question. I didn't think we had anybody throwing their hat in against him.
So far, no, and hopefully it stays that way.
I don't anticipate it either. So
He's great to work for.
that's just it. And I got to be honest with you, my husband and I were talking about, because I put my toe in the political water, never again. I'm glad I got it out of my, it's something I always felt called to, and I saw that I'm not. And I'm glad I got it out of my system, because when I hear people having to run for office and all that, I'm like, oh, God bless you. Because that's when I met him.
It's stressful. And
It's
it was
terribly
stressful for the people who didn't even run. So I can only
Terribly
imagine how it was for him. I mean, you can see all the gray hair now.
It's exhausting too.
Yes.
And just listening to the people that are in political office and the calls that they get, and the people who call them about things that it's not even something they take care of, but they harass them, and with these silly things. And it's like, what are you doing bothering these people all the time?
And he's one of the younger sheriffs.
Yeah.
And he has a young family.
Yeah. He's got
And
things to do.
yeah, so he definitely has to. He has that line of where you're the sheriff and it never shuts off.
Yeah.
And people expect you to be everywhere
All the time.
in 20 different places at once.
Yeah.
But he also has a family.
Yeah.
A young family as well.
Yeah.
With children that are in school and things like that. And
he has ball games to
he's
go
got
to.
ball games, and
All
he's
that
very,
yeah.
very active in all of that. And so people don't realize just how many different directions
They're pulled in.
they're pulled in.
Well, God bless him. Tell him we're praying. He doesn't have any opposition, so it'll be an easy election year.
We're hoping so.
How long is the term? Is it
4?
4? That's what I thought. That's why I got to know him. I got to know Governor Lee, because on my campaign trail, that was Governor Lee's first term. It was Sheriff's first term. And so
It was a big race.
It was a huge thing.
It was a big race.
Yeah. And so I really got to know him and just have so much respect for both of those men. And because, when you're out on the campaign trail together, you just talk, because you're like, here we are again, and they were everywhere. But anyway, now on your list, is anything we're missing that you wanted to talk about? Because I know I didn't think there was really much of an agenda today, because there's nothing going on, so I thought, well,
I just wrote down some highlights.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest thing is winter weather safety. Type of thing, allowing your car to de-ice in the mornings on your windows and windshield and all that. Don't be that person that gets in last second and literally all you have is that little hole that you're trying to look out while you're driving.
That person.
Don't be that person.
Yeah.
And I understand that, you're trying to get out as quick as possible, but
yeah, I'm looking at the weather forecast right now.
I think it's supposed to snow.
Yeah,
this
we got
weekend.
and we've actually got a little chance of it on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then on Saturday. And I'll tell you, if they still have, I was at Aldi yesterday, and they have these things that you put on the windshield of your car and it hooks to your mirrors. And they had them discounted at $5. They only had a few left, if they have any left. And that was wonderful. I got out in my car and took that thing off this morning. The car was cold, but I didn't have anything on my windshield. So, that's something you can think about, is if you'll cover your windshield, if you're somebody that you can't, because some people cannot warm their car up. You think, I don't have time to sit here for 10 minutes and warm up my car. And so if you don't, well, get something like that to cover. And if you can't, if Aldi's out of them, you can probably get them at Walmart or someplace like that. Get on
And if you're going to leave your car turned on to warm up,
take the keys.
If
you have one of those cars that can do that, or lock it or something.
Yeah, don't leave it unlocked.
No, people will drive off in
leave
it, guys.
unlocked.
And certainly don't leave a weapon in it. That's one thing too. Do y'all have still a lot of calls about people stealing weapons out of cars, or
no,
not as bad? Well, that's
not as
good.
bad. It ramped up for a bit, and then we did a lot of social media
Yep.
about that.
Reminding people.
And so hopefully it's because people saw that and started, practicing
Yeah.
that. But it doesn't seem to be as bad.
Good.
So, which is
Good, good,
great.
good. Well, and there was one other question I had for you, and then it completely slipped my mind. I don't know. I can't remember what it was, but just make sure that you're being safe out there on the roadways, and just
Drive the speed is what the weather permits.
Yeah.
Is probably the biggest thing.
Mhm.
And we got a lot of people who go on the side of the roads when bad weather happens. So, I mean, everybody knows that in Robertson County. So, I mean, we have a lot of go off the roads when it's good weather. So, with bad weather, just make sure that you have your blankets, maybe some warm clothes, something like that in your car, because when everybody's off the road, it can take a long time for a tow truck to come get you. So, you got to be able to weather out the weather.
We left Kentucky because I'm from Mayfield, and we had got on the road, and our twins were just little fellas. And so this is when we were this has been 30 years ago, and we were driving in from Kentucky across the lake because we have to come up across the lake and the dam and all that around Kentucky Lake, and there was some kind of wreck that completely shut the interstate down. I think and it was terribly cold and snowy. We were a good 7-8 hours in the car with little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And fortunately, we were prepared because we had been traveling, and so we had things. That was pre-cell phone. We couldn't contact anybody.
Yeah.
My parents were just freaking out because we hadn't gotten home yet, And so what you're saying about being prepared in a car, think about those things because you can get stuck.
Yeah, you never know. And, I've got a little 3-year-old, so I always make sure, like, I have a bag that I put tons of snacks in and, waters and things like that to...
Because you just never know.
Because you never know. Yeah. I mean, you truly never know. So...
Yeah, it can happen, so be careful. And thank you for coming in on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Go enjoy your day off. I'm impressed now. I'm telling you. Thank you guys so much, but we're out of time. It's 8:01. And do take a moment to honor Dr. Martin Luther King today and just think about what life would have been like if he hadn't stood up and spoke up. And I hope you'll take a minute to do that. I have something I'm going to show my kiddos tomorrow about the news coverage whenever he passed. And just remember, when we get these days off, there's a reason. And take a moment to remember them. I hope you'll do that. But thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
And tomorrow we've got a couple of extra guests that are going to be in because Mayor Vogel will not be here because county commissioner meeting's not happening tonight. It will happen next Monday night. We'll have Mayor come in on that day. So we've got a business owner from White House that's coming in. Looking forward to talking to Dante. And I hope you'll be here. This is 1100 WSGI. Thank you. Thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a wonderful day.